Final Fantasy VII's battle system, and people are gonna be like, why would they make that? Because it, you know what, people who are really into the game, they Final Fantasy VII caters to two sides. It caters to people who are that are really new to the series and might not be into RPG like games. It did the job it's supposed to do, right? It flowed really good. The battle was great. It's smooth. It's not the best, but it's smooth. And it's better than Kingdom Hearts 3 battle system so far. And then not only that, but we can expect that the game will be a lot darker, and it will be an almost, I mean, I would say dark. I would say Chrono Trigger dark. And what I mean by Chrono Trigger dark, I mean some of the subjects that they might talk, it might not be very specifically about like saving somebody or a king or anything. It might be a lot about life, like Frog's kind of adventure is pretty sad. So I think that's how dark they'll go, and like there'll be like some really fucked up dark paths for some of the heroes you end up picking up. And then depending on who you end up picking, you'll have two choices whether to pick one particular character, and depending on who you pick, the other one will die. And so you will have to always go back and check that out, you know? Yeah. Yeah, so if it's the same guy, I'm guessing they saw how successful Final Fantasy VII was able to get a nice treatment, and being able to bring a completely new people who never played any Final Fantasy game to come in and be like, oh shit, yeah, like this is pretty cool. I never played a Final Fantasy before, and then leads to other people. I think that's what they're doing with Dragon Quest. So I am more than excited to see more of this game that they're talking about. There's going to be quote unquote darker. It might not be like super dark, you know, but and by where it takes place, I would think this one takes place between either 6 and 7, or might be 6 and 8. I mean 5 and 6. He's talking about dark, and then also the text logo to Dragon Quest is in the same vein as the original 5, until they did the complete remake of Dragon Quest logo, which made it the more nicer parental kind of whatever it is, you know, marketable logo. And if they're gonna change it, they're gonna change it because they saw how successful 11 was, and how you didn't have to do RPG mode, and you can go free mode RPG in that new system they were introducing. So they'll be doing that, and we might see more. I hope we see more during E3. That'd be great, but we probably won't get anything till next year E3. Same in the same vein as Dragon Quest 11. And then he kind of slipped up. He really slipped up. He wasn't supposed to say that they're gonna remake Dragon Quest 1 and 2. And he fucked up. Usually fucked up. When that happens, they're already working on it. He liked the concept of 3 so much that he's like, why don't we do that to 1 and 2? You know, might as well. Because I mean, if you guys understand the Octopath, the engine, how it works, pretty much what it does is like, oh man, how can I say it? It uses a lot of like brighter colors and shadowing, but it's also smoothing out the pixels. So it uses a lot more pixels to animate, but it makes it so smooth that it looks, you know, like you were saying, like a paper movie or something. And I think that's what really worked, is that they already have some of the pixel art ready from the Super Nintendo version, and all they're doing is just really just remapping the pixels into high def, and just like letting the engine pretty much convert them. So it's pretty easy for them to do it. It won't take that much, honestly. But then again, it's a remake, so I don't know how much of a remake it is. But I mean, from what we saw, it looks the same as 3 for Super Nintendo. So I just want to see more. Honestly, I just really want to see more. There won't be any cutscenes. If you're gonna pick up 3, don't think of cutscenes. That won't happen. I can't wait to start getting more into the game. It's a good way to start, honestly. Hey, if Dragon Quest can get this kind of treatment, just imagine the treatment it can get for like Chrono Trigger, Secret Mana 2. Um, there's like so many other things you could do. Yeah, Builders is a good. Builders 2 is really good, and 8's really good too. You could pick up 8 for the 3DS. That's actually a really good one. Although it's missing a couple features from the original PS2, it's solid. It's solid. Um, yeah, and you know what? To be honest, if they, because we saw how Octopath did, and Octopath was just like a really weird team that did it, and the fact that they got that kind of permission shows you that Square's like, these guys know what the fuck they're doing, and let's give them an IP to see if they can knock it out of the park. And I think by today and tomorrow, I bet people are gonna be talking about this fucking remake because it's really good. And Octopath is a really pretty game, and they do a really good job on the RPG battle systems. And getting an IP, getting that series is it's easy and it's very hard because, as you can tell, they made a shitload of mobile games. So maybe it's not like the best, but they know what's up. They know what they're doing. Like they gave them 3 for a reason, you know. 3 is actually, a lot of people in Japan play 3 more than 1 and 2, and in America nobody really played 1 and 2, some of 3, and then people didn't see light of day of the other ones till we got 6, 7. But I wouldn't be surprised if they tease something for I don't know if they might tease anything for E3 though. It's too early. They're probably like a year and a half in development so far, or maybe like 2 years, maybe 2 years or so. They're probably like 2 years in development, and they're probably gonna, I would say maybe we won't see any gameplay or anything until next Series 3. Maybe even like a CG thing. It's insane. I mean, I'm gonna admit. I mean, it's nuts that he went out of his way to fuck up and be like, yeah, we're making 1 and 2. I think he wants that more than anything. Homie's already like so old. He's like, look, we're gonna make this shit happen. Fuck you. Because people don't understand, like, Dragon Quest is huge in Japan. I mean, there's a fucking holiday for it. You don't people think that Final Fantasy is really big in Japan. Final Fantasy is like the low of the low in Japan. Dragon Quest is like up top, tier number 1 when it comes to Square Enix games. It's considered like their baby. So whatever Yuji says, it's gonna happen. He's done this before. He's like, yeah, we'll remake Dragon Quest 8. He said that like years ago, and they did it. He doesn't care. He has a big standing over Square's like financials in Japan. Like, he is the guy that moves the numbers. Final Fantasy does what it does, but it's not as big as Dragon Quest. Hell no. Not even close. Not even close. Dragon Quest 11 blew. I mean, I don't think Final Fantasy is caught up to Dragon Quest 11 like sales in terms of like the numbers right now. They made so much fucking money out of Dragon Quest 11, and they remade it again, and they're like, we're gonna make more money, and they did. And they're like, we're gonna put it on PC, and they made more money. So it doesn't fucking matter. They're gonna make shitload of money. They know what's going on. They know what's up. They're not dumb. They're gonna make so much money with this, and it's crazy. Yeah, we get like I think we get the baby treatment because they've come out with a lot of games in the US, and it never really hits or never catches stride. But then again, everything that they've wanted to do is always weird. It's always like, why would you do a remake of Secret of Mana in the worst way, and it's exclusive to GameStop, and you guys had no testers to test the game before it released? What the fuck are you guys doing? At least the new recent Dragon Quest, they fixed that. They're like, yeah, well, the new ones for the PlayStation, we'll fix all that. Like, okay, cool, but what about the PS4? You came out and they're like, yeah, this is the original one. Fucking garbage. But yeah, Dragon Quest is like the king of Square Enix. Square Enix is Dragon Quest. It's not Final Fantasy. It's not Chrono Trigger. It's not Secret of Mana. It's not any other title in Japan. It is Dragon Quest. When you ask people what they play the Square Enix, they'll tell you all the time Dragon Quest. 100%. I'll tell you all the time Dragon Quest. I play Dragon Quest. I play Dragon Quest. Nobody else plays them. Kingdom Hearts is big, but not as big as Dragon Quest. Look up, I swear to you, just look up events for Dragon Quest. Anything in Japan, the line's always around the corner. And I think they hit a stride with Kingdom Hearts, because if you look at like interviews with Kingdom Hearts, they were really trying to really expand to the West, and having something like Disney so iconic is so easily grabbable. So that's why they were able to really make it work a lot more. If you take Disney out of Kingdom Hearts, you got another generic whatever RPG Square launches out. Oh shit, Kimchi, so much. Oh my god, thank you so much for the raid. Holy shit. We're here talking about Dragon Quest, all that fun stuff. I got my little homie Slime right here. Muhiram, thank you so much. Thank you. Oh my god, appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. We're just talking about Dragon Quest. We're talking about this darker version of Dragon Quest it just announced. It's pretty nuts. It's pretty crazy. Oh, thank you so much for the bits. Thank you, Josh. Thank you. Fortnite is the new game in the West of pop culture characters. It is. It's really crazy that they're considering. I'm not even kidding. Dragon Quest holds a majority of the stake of Square Enix. Without Dragon Quest, Square Enix is nothing. And that sounds really fucked up, but it's true. Like, Final Fantasy is not as big as in Japan as it is here in the West. It's big in the West. It's not big in Japan. And the fact that Dragon Quest has its own holiday in Japan for people to take the day off to play it tells you a lot about that fucking series and how big it is in Japan, you know? Fortnite is the shit, though, by the way. Shout out to Fortnite. Fortnite is the shit. If you play with some homies, it's just tight. I honestly, you know, it's crazy that they're going into this like darker version of Dragon Quest, quote unquote, but it won't be as dark as it would be as dark as the new Final Fantasy VII remake. So we're not gonna see people die and stuff, and they'll make it apparent that people will die. As we were watching an interview, you could tell that they didn't want to say too much about how dark it's gonna be, because technically Dragon Quest is a kids game, but he's like, no, we want to cater to both kids and adults. So it might be right in the middle. It might be like a PG kind of close PG-13ish kind of game. So it's crazy. Like, that kind of stuff is like really weird to balance. It's extremely hard to balance, especially for an RPG game that's known for it. Well, you know, that's the thing. Like, they didn't expect people to pick up Dragon Quest 11 when it was announced here for the States. You gotta understand, like, the way Square Enix thinks is that in their mind, they're like, people like Final Fantasy and only Final Fantasy in the West. And not until 11 came out that they were like, yes, I think people really love Dragon Quest. And people started showing that they like Dragon Quest, and they went on PC and it sold extremely well. So that's why they're moving this shit moving forward. I would say though that they're risking a lot. Even Dragon Quest Builder was a risk. You guys have no idea. Dragon Quest Builders was an extremely risk. They weren't expecting people to like it. People shitted on the first one because it is kind of like Minecraft. But if you play part 2, oh my god, that game is like amazing storyline. I think one of the few storylines I really like from a good of the obscure Dragon Quest games. Good writing. I love the pals you end up collecting. Just everything that was in Monsters is in there, and Joker as well was like a lot implemented from other games were in this one. So it's really cool. Yes, part 2 is really good on the Switch and PS4 too. And if you can find it on PC, I highly recommend picking up Dragon Quest Builders 2. It's a really good game. Don't sleep on it. You know, it might be free soon. I've heard rumors that they might be adding it free on a PS4. I think it was free. I may be wrong, but It's a good game. It's a really good game. But this dark version of Dragon Quest that they're going with, it does take a bit. I would say it doesn't really pick up to maybe like about the 5th or 6th hour of the game, and not including all the little things you have to do within the game before you get there. But it's super worth it. Once you get into the midpoint of the game, it's like a whole different. It changes. Like there's a point in that game where you're like, oh, this is what the game is, and then completely flips it. It's like, what if Minecraft had an actual story? What if Minecraft actually had built characters within some of those? But I guess they're two different games, right? Like Minecraft, you kind of make your own shit. People LARP in it too. But then you have Dragon Quest, and they're like, you know what? We're good for writing stories, characters, building anticipation, building enemies. So that's what they end up. So it's a lot of crazy shit in that game. So that's why I always tell people, if you're gonna play, you can even play multiplayer in the game too, which I think is great. But I don't know, this new Dragon Quest game that they're like, it's darker, it's supposed to be like completely, different from any other Dragon Quest game, I think that's cool, and I'm okay with that. I'm cool with the HD 2D one. I thought that was cool too. I mean, just looking at it, just looking at this, I mean, go back and you just see it. Like, look how fucking good it looks, dude. You know what I mean? Like this, like the Super Nintendo one, okay. Like, even going back to this, like the fact that they're giving their license to be like, let's make this, blows my mind. It's so fucking good. So good. So good. If there's anything that came out of this showcase that I would say I am extremely hype, is this. Hands down. Hands down. I will totally play this. It doesn't look good as Crysis. Looks so good, dude. I mean, it's the Octopath developers, right? Using the Octopath engine. Look how pretty this is. Look how amazingly beautiful this looks like. And the fact that they animated it, you know what I mean? Look at that. Unreal. This is gonna look amazing on PC as well. You could tell they really love DQ3. We have an orchestra remake of the audio. I don't know what kind of, I mean, the gameplay's still the same, but the fact that they added the orchestra version, I'm sold. I am completely sold on this. So we have that one, and then they announced the Eric side adventure, which looks really cool.
Please see this.
I thought it was cool to get like a little bit of like, so cool. They haven't said what system is out yet, so but for what it looks like, it's a Switch game, hands down. Switch. This does not look like a PS5, PS4 game. I mean, it's Eric when he was a kid. It's so cool. I want to point out that this right here, if you want a Rocket Slime, this is as close as you're gonna get to a Rocket Slime game. I 100% think this is a Rocket Slime game, and I'm gonna tell you why. So far, we've seen the initiatives of the monsters you use, right? Right, you're getting the Zelda vibes, okay. That right there confirms that this might be a slime game, like a slime, kind of like you could do the top view kind of adventure. So it's similar to like Rocket Slime has Zelda-ish, right? And then the real battle is when you're on the ship, which we're looking at right now. We're seeing it right here. Could it be that you're Eric and you get a ship later in the game where you fight pirates? Just saying, we start off with a boat in the beginning. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. And he does confirm. So if this isn't like a One Piece fucking pirate shit thing, I'm gonna blow my. It's gonna blow my mind. I want to try out Knockout City. Okay, like, but you know, it's so funny. Mustache was in here earlier talking about it too. It looks really cool. The hero Yoshiko and the Demon King Castle Dragon Quest universe, right? Yes, they are part of the universe. Yes. Also, I want to give a shout out to Taichi, who's wearing a Bullet Club shirt. What up? What up, man? What up? What up? So Yoshi does mention in this that the game will have a different. Oh, Bullet Club. It's a New Japan Pro Wrestling group. That had Kenny Omega. It had so many amazing wrestlers in it. They are considered like the big like, think of it as like NWO. You know, you think of like Generation X from wrestling. The Bullet Club is like that in Japan. I will want to point out that Yoshi does mention that the game will be different in terms of battling. I think that depending on the monsters you carry, can expand how you travel around an island. So if you guys saw in the beginning, he's able to use slime for a jump, right? And then use the bat to fly. So I'm thinking 100% we're getting a semi slime game. You know, this is the closest we're gonna get to slime, because he does mention that the battle system is completely different. I don't know, man. It's crazy stuff, dude. I like want to go deep into it, but I have to wait until they come out with Famitsu programming.
Let's go with it.
And then this announcement was like super weird. Also, this looks like the keychain graveyard, by the way. I like how it starts with 11, and then you get a nice 12. Like Smash Brothers. Okay, so I'm gonna be really honest with you guys. I think this takes place during a time where the world's already complete. Well, every Dragon Quest game is always like the monsters have taken over, or never really technically take over. It's just like, oh, they took over this side. I think in this Dragon Quest game, it's gonna be the first Dragon Quest game where everybody's like, it's like apocalypse, kind of like if the Saiyans took over kind of shit, you know what I mean? Like, it's just really dark. I think that's what they're going with. What up? Good luck trying to get that PS5. Alright, shit, I'm waiting for that Slim. Dragon Quest 12. The Flames of Fate. Alright. So I'm guessing for sure it's gonna be bomb. Gonna be bomb.
Thank you so much for that.
Dude.
It's finally here. I'm so glad.
He kind of slipped up too. He kind of said some shit he didn't have to say. Do the flame. Through the flames. Yeah, it's crazy, dudes. I don't know. It's it's weird. It's weird. I don't know what to expect now. At this point, I'm like, all right, we'll see where it goes. I'm hoping they do, some cool shit about it. Like they really what he really saying is like, hey, we're gonna go dark. I'm like, cool, go dark. Fuck it. Change the battle system. Go for it. Nobody cares at this point. That close up though, I'm sorry, man. Got my little slime guy. Guys, I gotta show you this. I'm pretty proud. This shit took me like a whole day. Enjoy the dark. I made this cool Gundam. I built it, by the way. And then someone told me like, yeah, you should detail it, like, you know, add like marker stuff on it. I was like, really? Man, dude, I started detailing it with like a black marker. Like you can buy acrylic markers for Gundam kits. What a big difference. Oh my god. Maybe because I was so young at the time. I had Epion. So I don't know if you guys know what Gundam Wing Epion is, the cool dragon looking one that Char like has at the end. And I started doing like detail with marker, and I didn't quite understand it. So I looked up some videos, and wow, dude, I never felt so happy just being able to just kind of not exist and build this and listen to music. It was such a cool feeling. I loved every single moment. And people were like, oh man, like, you know, like hardcore model Gundam models, like, this thing sucks. I'm like, really, dude? It's pretty cool. I don't know about you. People I mean like any fucking fandom, right? People get toxic as fuck, but it's very therapeutic. I would say that. I bought clippers for it too, because before I would just like tweeze them out and put them together. You can actually buy a good tweezer and like a nice set for like $10. You don't have to go super expensive. And then I found the markers on sale on Amazon for like $7. Super worth it as well. Man, such a nice way to kind of just space out. And, you know, people, my friends who are very big Gundam people, Gunlap people, they're like, it's gonna bite you. I'm like, what? It's like, it's gonna bite you. You're gonna want to build another one. And in my head, I'm like, it hasn't bit me like that, but I'm thinking about it. I'm looking at other stuff. But I don't want to build. I like building weird, like shit like this. I thought that was pretty cool. I just don't have the space for it, you know. But I thought about it. I was like, you know what? Maybe if I just build it and I customize it and I give it to somebody, I think that'd be kind of cool, like a cool gift, you know. Like if I was to build like for a friend of mine's for like his birthday, you know, be like, hey, I'm gonna build this shit for you, and you know, just send it to him like completely pimped out. Cause man, black lining and shadowing, oh my god, I took photos of the day, the first day I got it finished with a couple detail, and the second day with a couple detail, and now today, completely different figure. And I'm doing that thing where I go back and I look at the figure. I'm like, I'm gonna put one more coat of it, one more coat of acrylic paint, one more coat, and I'm fixing things and I'm lining things and I'm like kind of sawing off, sanding some things. It bites you like that. It's kind of weird. It's really cool.